and welcome back to our series, Take the Lead. This series, we're talking a whole lot about parades. And in famous parades, you will often see quite a few floats pass by with a character from popular books or games, TV shows, or movies. We played a game with some of our friends to see how fast they can name some of those things.
Name any character from Star Wars or Harry Potter.
I cannot from Star Wars.
Harry Potter?
Harry Potter!
Other than Harry Potter.
Morning Ranger.
Dumbledore.
Name a show or movie with talking animals.
Animal Crackers. Garfield?
The Secret Life of Pets.
Sesame Street.
Name a female superhero.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Supergirl.
Name a TV show or movie that takes place underwater.
Aquaman.
Little Mermaid.
I don't know.
What are some things that make you afraid? Maybe it's spiders. Whoa. Maybe it's thunderstorms. Okay. Maybe even earthquakes. Whoa! There are many people who share some of the same fears as you. We call them phobias, and some entirely different ones. For example, did you know that triskaidekaphobia means fear of the number 13?
Most everyone has a way of coping when they come across something that scares them. Some people close their eyes really tight and hum really loud, la 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 la. Or some people might find a stuffed animal or a blanket that they can hold on to really tight. Or even some people just run away as fast as they can. What do you do when you're afraid? How does that help you feel less afraid? Everyone has fears, even leaders. But they overcome those fears using God's help. And they often do something epic. Today, we're going to hear about one such leader.
It's time for our Bible story. Today, our story is about a man named Gideon. Gideon was about to do a very scary thing. He was about to lead an army into battle against an enemy that was much, much bigger. But even though Gideon's army was small, God told him it was too big. God told Gideon that anyone who was scared could go home. Gideon went to his men and told them that if they were scared, they could leave. 22,000 of them did. That is a lot. Gideon only had 10,000 soldiers left, which might sound like a lot to us, but it wasn't compared to who they were up against. Hundreds or thousands of people. And yet, God told Gideon his army was still too big and to take them down to get a drink. God told Gideon to watch how they drank the water. The people who quickly got the water by cupping their hands, like how a dog laps up water with his tongue, could stay. The ones who kneeled all the way down without paying attention to anything around them could go. Do you know how many people were left? 300. Can you believe it? God gave Gideon only 300 soldiers, the one who drank like dogs, to fight this battle. The night before the battle, God told Gideon to go down to the enemy's camp and listen. He overheard one of the enemy soldiers telling another that he had a dream about a giant loaf of bread crashing through their camp, destroying everything. The other soldiers said that this must be a sign that they would lose to Gideon's army. Gideon regained his courage. He went back to his men and spread them out around the enemy's camp with horns, clay jars, and torches. All at once, Gideon gave the signal, and they blew their horns, smashing their jars, and lit their torches. The enemy thought that they were actually surrounded by hundreds of thousands of men, when in fact it was just 300. In a panic, they began to fight each other. So without lifting a finger, Gideon and his men won the battle over a much bigger enemy. All because Gideon was brave enough to trust God's instructions. When you face a problem that seems too big and everyone is looking right at you, remember Gideon. And remember, God gives me courage to lead.
What is up?
Hey Kyle, how's it going? You seem like you're in a really good mood today.
That's because I am.
Why is that?
Well, after last week's big idea of, everyone could be a leader, I don't know, it just got me excited.
That's great, Kyle.
It really is. I mean, I am a leader. I will accomplish so much.
That is so good for you.
What was that?
Well, I mean, I think it's great that you're confident.
But what?
Well, leading takes a lot of responsibility. I mean, personally, I know I'm always scared to lead.
Scared to lead? Why?
Because what if I fail?
Ha! Fail? What are you talking about, fail?
Well, you know how you can succeed at leading, right?
Yeah, and if you're good at something, you succeed. What's the problem?
Well, the problem is just like you can succeed, you can also fail.
Excuse me?
Well, are you saying you didn't know that?
What? Psst. Of course I knew that. I was just surprised you didn't. I mean, what I'm seeing is that succeed is, I can't.
You're not making any sense.
That's because I'm failing, Kasaya.
But
No buts. This is it. Every hope, goal, or dream I have has now just vanished.
Kyle, that is
Into thin
not
air.
what I meant.
No more leading for me. Let's take a moment to say thank you to all the leaders I wanted to be like.
I'm glad you're not being dramatic about this.
I'm not dramatic. Okay, I'm a little dramatic.
Now, Kyle, you've got to understand, leading can be scary, but it's so much easier when you have God on your side. Just like Gideon.
Giddy Weddy?
Gideon. He was just a normal guy in the Old Testament. The people of God, the Israelites, were not listening to God, but God still loved them.
Oh, okay.
So, there was an angel telling Gideon that he would be the one to defeat the Midianites, the ones that were hurting the Israelite people.
Whoa, that's huge.
It was. But Gideon started his mighty warrior status by leading the charge to destroy the idols that his people had put up.
Whoa, that's bold.
Kyle, do you even know what an idol is?
Yeah, it's anything that takes the place of God in your life. And God told the people in the 10 Commandments to never do that.
Okay, respect.
Yeah, I know things.
That's actually impressive. Anyways, Gideon was told that he would have to go to battle, even though his community was weak and he was the smallest in his family.
Talk about being afraid to fail. That's a lot of pressure.
You bet it is. But when Gideon gathered people to join his army, God told Gideon that there were too many people in his army, so Gideon told anyone who was afraid to fight that they should just go home. And do you know how many people went home?
500?
Try 22,000 soldiers.
What?
I know. And even though there were only 10,000 soldiers left, God said it was still too much. So Gideon listened to God, and at the end of it, there were only 300 soldiers left.
Are you kidding me? Why would God take Gideon's armies away?
Well, Gideon was told that he would defeat the Midianites, and God wanted to make sure that everyone knew that if it wasn't for God, they would have lost.
Holy moly, that's incredible. So, they won.
You bet they did. All because Gideon trusted in God and God gave him courage to lead.
That's great. So I guess I shouldn't be worried about failing.
Right. Everyone fails, but it takes real courage and bravery to lead. It takes courage to trust too, and leading with God on your side is so much better than anything else.
I believe that. What an awesome reminder that God gives me courage to lead.
Hey, Kyle, that's our big idea this week.
Apparently, today's big idea is God gives me courage to lead.
Let's say it out loud on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
God gives me courage to lead.
It's okay to be afraid sometimes. Fear is our brain's natural response, and usually it's what keeps us alive. But sometimes fear can keep us from doing anything but feel more afraid. And usually that makes a problem seem a lot more terrifying than it actually is. Just like that spider on the piece of paper. God shows us that our fears can lead to courage when we trust God and notice things from His point of view.
We're going to dive into Psalm 20. This Bible passage starts off by blessing everyone who is listening to Psalm. By blessing them, the writer is saying, I pray and hope God takes care of you. But in the second half of Psalm 20, the writer changes their way of talking. Instead of just being hopeful, they are absolutely certain that God will take care of us. Let's hear what it says. I'm going to read Psalm 20, chapters 4 through 7. May He give you what you want. May all your plans succeed. We will shout for joy when you succeed. We will raise a flag in the name of our God. May the Lord give you all that you ask for. Now I know that the Lord helps His appointed king. He answers him from His holy heaven. He saves him with His strong right hand. Some trust in chariots, others in horses, but we trust in the Lord our God. From reading Psalm 20, we know what we should do when we are afraid. Call on God. The writer of this psalm says when we trust and pray to God, God will hear us and give us victory. We may not be going into battle like Gideon did, but we can conquer our fears with the courage God gives us. God gives me courage to lead. Let's hear how Psalm 20 ends. It ends by saying this. My troubles have grown larger. Free me from my problems. Look at my suffering and troubles. Take away all my sins. Look at how many enemies I have. See how much they hate me. Protect me and save me, I trust you. Do not let me be disgraced. My hope is in you. So may goodness and honesty guard me. God saves Israel from all their troubles.
Being a leader isn't just about getting recognition and being in charge. It can also mean doing what is unpopular because it's the right thing to do.
Right. It would take a lot of courage to go against what everyone else is doing just because you know God would want you to behave differently. But that's an example of being a great leader, helping others to see how God wants everyone to act.
So when it's your turn to lead, you might be scared that no one will agree with you, or that you might mess up, or that you're not sure about what you're doing. But that's what you need to remind yourself. God gives me courage to lead.
Remember our big parade dance number we worked on last week? One of the lines from that song says, "You lead, I'll follow. Your hands hold my tomorrow." When we follow God, God will not only help us, but give us courage to do even more than we ever imagined. Let's keep that in mind as we practice our song again. All right, we're gonna dive right into it and we're just gonna go over real quick with the words. I've got waves that are tossing me, crashing all over my beliefs, and in all sincerity, Lord, I wanna be yours. So pull me out of this mess I'm in, 'cause I know I'm wandering. Lead my soul back home again, it's always been yours. And then you're gonna turn to the side. This world may push, may pull, but your love, it never fails. All right, and now we're gonna do it with the music twice. So everybody stand up and dance with us.
I got waves that are tossing me, crashing all over my beliefs, and in all sincerity, Lord, I wanna be yours. So pull me out of this mess I'm in, 'cause I know I'm wandering. Lead my soul back home again, I've always been yours. And this world may push, may pull, but your mercy never fails.
one more time, guys. From the beginning.
I got waves that are tossing me, crashing all over my beliefs. And in all sincerity, Lord, I wanna be yours. So pull me out of this mess I'm in, 'cause I know I'm wandering. Leave my soul back home again. I've always been yours. And this world may push, may pull, but your mercy never fails.
Awesome job, you guys.
Micah 6:8. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God.
All right, let's slow that down. Micah 6:8. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Keep practicing.
Okay, now it's time to pray. You can bow your head and close your eyes, or just however you feel more comfortable, but let's just get into it. Dear God, there are many times in our lives when we are afraid, especially when you might be asking us to step up and lead in some way. Teach us not to be afraid in those situations. Help us to trust that you have our back and that you'll give us courage to lead. Amen. Thank you so much for joining us this week, you guys. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Oops. Can be 6. You know.
She made it with some shit.
Am I starting?
Yes, you are starting.
Okay. Get it together, Carl.
It was a